We're up to the penultimate day of Cholamoid here at Rosh Hashanah Rabbah. Okay, we are up to Daf Nun Gimel Amid Aleph. So basically, we're talking here about if a man, if let's say a kohen gives his portion of a carbon, whether it's kachim kachim or kachim kalim, to a woman and says, "You mekudesh to me with that." The mayor says no, because he doesn't own it. If we learn from the pasuk, we compare it to fire of the mizbeach, that it's only meant to be eaten. That says no ownership, so no Kiddushin. And Rabbi Yehuda says no, that he has ownership as well, because it says lacha, it is yours. And then Abaye said definitely, Abaye said definitely Rabbi Yehuda changed his mind. He agreed now with Rabbi Meir, and like Rabbi Yochanan said, he told us that they counted and they realized that the lochs are made, and Rav says Adayin he machlekes. They're still arguing. So Abaye now is going to prove. Now Abaye is not discussing at all with Rav, because Abaye didn't live in Rav's time, but this is just a conversation had over the years, and Abaye is going to prove that Rabbi Yehuda changed his mind, and the proof is from the following. Amar Abaye, we're just starting the Gemara right now. Abaye says, Abaye said that Rabbi Yehuda changed his mind. He agrees now with Rabbi Meir that a kohen cannot give a woman a share. And his kachim says, here, you could with it does not belong to him. It's mammon gavoya. When they're eating, meshulchan gavoya kazachi. Says the Gemara from the Eibishter's table. Amar Abaye, 3 lines on top. Kavos say that Rabbi Yochanan established. It makes sense that Rabbi Yochanan Tan we learned in the Braisa. How do you know Cholkim Menachah Keneged Zvachim? How do you know a kohen can't say to another kohen, you know what? I'll give you my share of the mincha, and you'll give me your share, because every day there was a group of kohenim and they used to share all the kabbanis. And he said, let's swap. You can't do that. Because it says the mincha, every single flour offering, asher te'afa betaner, that you are going to bake in the oven. And then it spells out a marcheshes, which is a deep kind of frying pan, a lot of oil, like a wok. And then it spells out machvis. It spells out different kinds of minchas. You have different kinds of minchas. One that is baked, one that is deep fried, one that is shallow fried. Machvis is shallow fried, and then when you have that, you don't bake at all. And why does the pasuk mention all that? L'chol b'nei Aaron, it goes to Aaron, so it comes to tell you that what? No, that you have a mincha and you cannot swap for some other carbon. Okay, I understand. You cannot swap a mincha flour offering for an animal offering. So there's no connection between the two. Even a carbon, let's say you walk in Tummy in the base of Midrash, you didn't know, or by Shua, and there it goes, commensurate to how wealthy you are, how poor you are. The next step, if you cannot for an animal, is not you go straight to a flower offering. You first go to a bird offering. So there's no connection between flower offerings and animal offerings. At least maybe a bird you couldn't swap, because when they're poor, that's what happened. We swapped the bird offering for a mincha offering. That's what you do in your port. Again, the pasuk continues delineating all the different flour offerings, and now it tells you those flour offerings, not only the baked, but the flour offerings that are deep fried. Why you have to mention that? The to tell you that it's limited to a mincha. No, okay, maybe you cannot take a flour offering and swap it for a living, a bird. That has to do with blood, sprinkling on the mizbeach. It's a flower. What about a bird and an animal? Maybe you can swap, Kohen's getting a share in the chatta, so you can give, swap with that animal. Shalolo, this guy likes chicken, this guy likes meat. Beef, shalolo, they're both blood. Al machvas. It continues further. A frying pan. You don't need it for mincha. So therefore, we're going to use that for a bird offering versus an animal offering. Okay, you understand why they're different. How do you shech the bird? You use a thumbnail, the koyim malika, basically not use a chalav, you use a knife. Okay. What about menachas itself? You have this kind of offering, I have that kind of flower offering. Let's swap. They're both exactly the same thing. It says every mincha that is mixed with oil. The next pasuk again, he goes and then it continues. Again, why does it continue going through all the details to tell you that no, you cannot swap one kind of a mincha for another? Okay, two different kinds of flour offering, deep fried, shallow fried. Okay, when it's a deep fried, it's not. It's a lot of oil in there. It sits there, so it's the tender. If it's shallow fried, it becomes what do you call it, harder. Because roasted fried whatever, you have the same mincha. Let's swap. Why in the world would you want to swap if you have exactly the same thing? I'm not sure.
Maybe one is well done, one is lighter.
Oh, okay. Well, they're both done the same style. Same kashim. They're similar. Again, it says and they're dry. An extra word again. Why does it say all that? Yochel, I would have thought, okay, lo yechalka b'kachim kachim. You cannot swap when it comes to kachim kachim. Abel yechalka because minchas also these are limited to eat base English. Ab yechalka jekalim, but we could take it outside the base of English, eat entire shline. Maybe we can make a swap one for another. Therefore, it comes to tell you ish ka'achiv. It's in the pasuk. Chol mincha. And the end of that pasuk is ish ke'echav. Each person like the brother. And the next pasuk says imal toida yakrivenu. And a toida v'samach right next says imal toida. And a toida is eating the entire shalim. It's a kachim kalim. So we see that whatever laws we have at mincha apply to a toida as well. Just like you cannot swap when it comes to the the holier animals inside the limits of the base of English, same thing kachim kalim. Sorry?
I was going to say, a toida is dafka that you can share it with a lot of people.
But a kohen can't swap their share. The chazay v'shegno, they cannot swap to each other. No, what's the point? The point is that it's not yours. The only thing you have a right to is eat it yourself. You can't do any business, any deals, or any negotiation with it, right? Which is what that you have no like Rabbi Meir. So what does Rabbi Yehuda? Rabbi is going to use this to prove that Rabbi Yehuda also changed his mind. Then a side issue. It says the chol ish ish a man ish chagafil bamum. If you're an adult, even if you're a blemish, you cannot work in basic English, you get a share. But a child cannot share. I feel time even though he's unblemished. Now, what says Rabbi Israel? Everyone out, by the way. What's like Stam Sifra Mani Yehuda? Who's the author of the Sifra? Rabbi Yehuda. This comes from Sifra. So Rabbi Yehuda is the one who's saying this. Rabbi Yehuda, you just said before, used to say that a man can get a kohen can give a woman kachim and marry her with it because it belongs to him. And here he says you cannot even swap it with another kohen because you have no rights. It must be Rabbi Yehuda changed his mind. Now the only question is how you know which way he changed his mind. How you know what came first, Sifra or this? So we're assuming that Sifra came later because he wrote with such detail over here. The less Shmamna is a good proof. Even though the only problem is that Yehuda, remember, Rabbi Yehuda holds he doesn't believe in smuch, only in Chumash Dvarim, but not anywhere else. And here the whole Raya is from smuchim, two psukim right next to each other. How can it be Rabbi Yehuda? Which is a big problem. So I'm just trying to bring a different pasuk altogether. Some want to say it says ve'im, but that is smuchim. That's what ve'im does, smuchim. So the other bring a different pasuk which says zoyis toidas ha'oilev ha'mincha. So from that pasuk, and then says there also other kabbanis. And that pasuk there it seems to compare everything. But anyway, those are toidah mincha. Whatever the pasuk is, I forgot. Omar says, Rav disagrees. He said, Rav is not going to have a good day. Yesterday he lost out to Yal Kagam. Today he's not going to do very well either. Omar Rav says, Rav said that's still arguing. I'll prove to you that Yehuda still disagrees, and he holds that a kohen has a share in the kachim. How do I know that? We learned in Yuma Hatznuyin. What happened was before Shimon HaTzadik passed away, there was a blessing in the lechem hapanim. Whatever they took, it was enough for everybody. He had a kazayis that fill you up. But Shenkin, after there was a brach, no longer Matsuvi. He said there's no longer brach in the lechem hapanim. So they got first also more kainim, I guess. So they got each one got a smaller piece, kigia kipul halavan, like a little Egyptian bee, and that's nuyin moshchidem. The modest people, the edler people, the refined ones, they step back. The gagarim and the gluttons cholkim would take and divide it. Why we call them a gagarim? All they're taking is a kazayas. Is a little bit hard to understand. Yeah, okay, but something like Gagarin is a very strong word to use. Somebody who stuffs himself. Well, tish. Okay, yeah. My cholkim. What is this? So Gagarin cholkim. So you see close from what the kohen. It's just used to just. Right now we're understanding cholkim means they share with each other. I'll take this. You take that. My cholkim chaytru. No, cholkim means they grabbed. In other words, not that you thought that they took the share of the tznuin. The tznuin step back there. No, they grabbed from the other gagarin. You think they only took from the tznuin? In fact, with tznuin, you can call them grabbing. The tznuin walked away. So why can't they take the tznuin portion? Yeah, they walked away. So why call it? So why the gagarin doing the wrong thing? None of us. The gagarin stole from each other. Chaveda wouldn't have been the tznuin. It's not a chaver of his. Tznuin, obviously, were edler people. And they called him Ben Chamtzan Ad Yemaisei. Who called him? His other gagarin. Here, the gagarin accuses the other gagarin being a gagarin, which is irony of all this. But the bottom line is, nothing to do with this thing here about swapping legally and then you bring a raya of Yehuda. So we dismissed Rava's raya. How do you know? You called him a chamtzin. A chamtzin is a guy. He's a ganif, but he pays for it. But it's unethical completely. So what kind of word is chaymetz, which usually means like chametz or sour, whatever. It says here. It says okay. He said Eberstein. Palteni, do me a favor. Why don't you save me miyad Russian mikaf ma'avel v'chaymitz for the people who do wrong things and v'chaymitz. So see, chaymitz is like a robber. This is what I'm saying. Rabba says from the following. It says limdu heitev dirshem mishpat. You should learn well and darshan well. Ishru ashru chametz. You should stay away from the chametz. Because you're helping them out. You're like a fencer. You're helping them out to steal. So that's no good. And so on and so forth. The position judges often do that. Now in the Mishnah it says Maisa Sheni. Let's understand what it says. Maisa Sheni. But Meir says belongs to the Eibusha. You cannot give it. A kohen cannot give it to. You cannot give it to a woman to Mekadosh. Anybody. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Be amazed you could because it does belong. Maisa Sheni belongs to you, but not b'shegig. Because b'shegig, if you would have known that this is my Sheni, you never would have wanted to give it. So it's a mekachtos. That's what Rabbi Yehuda says. So Shegi is no good in Mekach Tos. Rabbi Meir says, I say the same thing when it comes to Hegdish. I say that what? He said, Meir says, by Hegdish, but Mezid, Rabbi Meir says, is Kodesh, because I hold Hegdish belongs to you. So that what? That is Kodesh. But B'Shegig, if you'd have known the Hegdish, you never would have been happy. So it's a Mekach Tos, you're not Kodesh. Now, the Gemara wants to explain it. No, how do you know that? The Gemara, it says, it's every, all the meiser from the ground. Everything grows from the ground is La Hashem and Kodesh Hashem. This Ma'aser Sheni belongs to Hashem. You can only do what Hashem directs you and not use it for your own personal use. So your mother is a whole right from Hashem. How did Trumas Meiser? The Levi has to give Truma from his Meiser. The Chsiv came to Rima Gamat and Trumas Hashem. It says they use the expression Trumas Hashem, but not Mekadosh with Truma. If somebody's Mekadosh Isha with Truma, is Mekadeshes. All Truma, because a Levi giving Truma Meiser, same as any Truma. It says La Hashem, and yet it's yours. A Kohen can give Truma to a woman Mekadosh. Like Hashem La Hashem. It doesn't say La Hashem. It says Trumas Hashem. No, it said by Chala Titnu La Hashem, give it to Hashem, and yet now Mekadosh with Truma Kadeshes, Chala, which is also called Truma, you can use. You're saying whenever it says La Hashem, it means it's not yours, it belongs to the Eibusha. No, so how can you give Truma to a woman? The Lekosebek Kodesh, even though it says La Hashem, they don't use the word Kodesh, and by Maisa Shein says La Hashem, Kodesh La Hashem. So it's two things, La Hashem and Kodesh. But the Shvi is right now the one thinks it's only Kodesh. But the Shvi, Shemitah, the Kotzebei by Shemitah, it says Ki Yevel, the Kodesh Tilachem. Right now we think also in the word Kodesh. It says it's Kodesh. I mean it's not holy. It's holy. It's not yours. But I'm a Mekadosh pay the Shvi Mekadeshes. We had this in the Mishnah 3 days ago. If Mekadosh would pay the Shvi, she's Mekudesh. La Kotzebei La Hashem. Kodesh alone doesn't do it. You need both Kodesh and La Hashem, and that's why Ma'aser Shein is Hashem's. But in Truma, the Chsiv Kodesh Yisrael Hashem. By Truma, it says Kodesh Yisrael La Hashem. It says that Eden are compared. It says that the Eden, Kodesh Yisrael, the Eden are holy La Hashem, just like Truma. So it says Kodesh La Hashem, and we're comparing to Truma, so we say Truma is also Kodesh La Hashem, and yet Truma you can give to a woman to Mekadosh. It ain't to us. But now I'm Mekadosh Truma Kadeshes. Who be so? They were talking about the Jewish nation that they're holy La Hashem. And we compare the Truma, but not Truma is exactly like that. The Lab and Mela Shamet Menei, but it doesn't automatically mean since we're comparing Eden to Truma and Eden are Kodesh Lashem, Truma is also Kodesh Lashem. So how come a Kodesh is able to give Truma to a woman and be Mekadosh? If you tell me Ma'aser Sheni, he can't. Tagman of Sovereign Kamedurav, Amakra, who? It says in the positive who it should be. It says over there that what? That it remains even after Ma'aser Sheni always remains. It says Kodesh Lashem who? And therefore, what it means is it always remains Hashem's. It always remains Hashem's. Okay, it says the Gemara further. It says the Priya Eish Lashem Hu Kodesh Lashem. So it says the Hu means it stays that way. Okay, now it says the Hegdish, the Mezid. By Hegdish, you say it all the way around. The Mezid, Kiddush, B'Shayla Kiddush. By Meir, Hegdish, Shaygi Yina Kodesh. Rabbi Yehuda, Ma'aser Sheni, B'Shaygi Yina Kodesh. Because if you would have known, you wouldn't have done it. So now we want to understand why Taka wouldn't you have done it if you would have known. David Meir, I heard from Yechon two things. Why Shegi Ma'aser Sheni Kunta B'Yehuda is no good, and why Shegi Kunta Meir Hegdish is no good. And one of them he said, Shgagas Ma'aser Shegi's Ma'aser B'Yehuda, Shegi's Hegdish Meir. I heard about both. Shneim ain't Isha Miskadeshes Behem. Chada, one of them is the Fishain Isha right. One of them is the man doesn't care. The woman doesn't want it to be, so it's a Mekar. And the Chada, the Fishain Shnei, both of them don't want it to happen. If they would have known, they wouldn't have done it. But I'm not sure which is the one, which is only the woman bothers, and which is the one that both the husband and the man and the woman. Says the Gemara. Even says let's see, Maase. When it comes to Maase, if she would know it's Maase Sheni, she cannot use it till she schleps all the way to Yerushalayim. What a tircha! She would never have accepted this kedushin. He's the one who doesn't want it. The Nikni Itzemela, he doesn't care. She's the one who has to schlep to Yerushalayim. Meanwhile, he got a woman from the Ma'aser Sheni. He's happy. So he makes no difference whether even if we know Ma'aser Sheni, he'd be happy to give it to her. But she knows Ma'aser Sheni wouldn't have gone. And Rashi's Mechadish, that when it comes to Ma'aser Sheni, she's not Mekudish right now because it has no value. Because you cannot eat Ma'aser Sheni outside of Yerushalayim. So she has to go to Yerushalayim to turn it into a Shava Pruta to be able to eat it. So that's, otherwise she can give it to somebody else. No, she has to go. Taisa disagrees with that part.
Doesn't the Kiddushin depend on that right now? B'shas Nefsino, it has a Shabbat Pruta?
No, we say Shabbat Pruta mother, right? Here she's going to go to Yerushalayim, but if we know for sure she's going to Madai, and there it's worth something, and you give it to her, but the question is, when's it become a Kiddush? Only when she gets to Madai?
Or retrospectively activates?
Or retrospectively, but only when she gets there, or now, because it's going to be with Pruta, and she's going there, so therefore it's already worth a Pruta.
If she accepts Kiddushin for another person in the meantime.
Or it's like a Tanai, and then if no retrospectivity, yeah. Hegdish, if they both would have found out it's Hegdish, they wouldn't be happy. Why? Then why? Because they're doing an Avera. When it comes to Hegdish, taking money from Hegdish and using it for own personal use, is an Avera. You're being Mayos, taking from Hegdish. You have to reimburse Hegdish and so on. And she does not want, because of her, on account of her, you should go ahead and turn it into Chul. And had he known also, he wouldn't have done it. He would have given other money. The Naschel Hegdish, neither of them are happy that Hegdish now became Chulun. So therefore, the Hegdish, they both wouldn't have been happy. Says the Gemara. Sorry. Rabbi Yaakov says, Punkt verkehrt. Ibchem ist Abner. When it comes to Meise, she's not happy. He's not happy. And this is where Rashi comes with this shot. Because she's not Mekudish until she arrives in Shalayim, if it doesn't work out, he's liable. If you learn, says Rashi, that she's kind of straight away, well, why is the husband liable when she goes to Yerushalayim? So it must be that she is not cut until she gets to Yerushalayim, and therefore he has to make sure that she doesn't lose it and whatever. So he's also shpilkus the whole time. So both of them would not have been happy had it been my Sheni. Sorry?
What do you mean by this?
Oin Sodorcha means if any accident happened to her on the way, he's responsible. Or shpilkus, yes. Ela Hegdish. When it comes to Hegdish, Taisa disagrees. Taisa says, what do you mean? She's very Mekudish. But if she is going to blame him, this is a Kiddushin, this is how we started with our marriage, you give me something, I have to schlep over to Shalayim. Halfway on the way, it became so hot, everything rotted away or something. So even though legally nothing happens, it's not a good way of starting a relationship. Ela Hegdish, she says, maybe forget. She's not happy. Then ask Hegdish, why in the world? What she gained? She didn't have. She's complicit in Aveda to make a chulin, and she could get any other money from the guy. You want to marry me? You have to give me $100. Give me $100 something else. Ela Ew. But he, on the other hand, okay, true, he's a little bit of Aveda, but look what I got for it. I got a woman. I got something, and maybe he didn't have any other money to give at the time. Boy, the question, Isha. Let's say we pass that a woman is not mekudish. Let's say he gave her, let's say shegi. He gave her hegdish, so she's not mekudish. So what happens to that hegdish? Did it become chulin or not? What happens to that money? He gave money a hegdish. What happens to that money? Does it become the fact is he gave it to her, so it becomes chulin? Even though she's not mekudish or not. When does money become chulun? If you use it for a purpose, but since the purpose never eventuated, nothing happened. What have you used this money not to give it to women to mekadosh, but to buy a property? Same thing. He was hegdish money, didn't realize it, and it was a mistake. He said to him the same thing. You're not connected. What? And therefore the money does not become chulin. When does it become chulin? If you were effective. Because if you say that the kinyan is not a kinyan, you didn't buy anything, if nothing happened. So that's a question. Chenveni, there's an argument. We say over here that if a gabbai took Hegdish money and gave it to a money changer, and money changers always use all the money they have, and they always put it back, whatever it is. So you knew, the gabbai knew at the time that this money changer is going to use the money. And if this was Hegdish, then the gabbai is responsible for Me'ila, because you knew that the Shulchan had. If you gave it to a private person to mine for you, wrapped in a kerchief, that person had no right to use the money, and therefore, if he used the money, the Balabais is the one who's moil, stealing from Hegdish. What about if you gave it to a storekeeper? It's not like a money changer can't use his money, but a storekeeper. And a storekeeper a lot of times sells on credit. A storekeeper a lot of times, does barter. And you gave money to mine for you. Did you automatically think the storekeeper is going to use the money as well? So therefore he's like the shulchani and the moil is the gabbai, or no? Says Gemara, Rabbi says, sorry, Chenveni kabalabais. The man holds the Chenveni saying that balabais has no right to use the money. If he does, the Chenveni is the one who's moil. Rabbi Yehuda says Chenveni kishulchani. He's like a money changer you should have known, and therefore the gabbai is responsible. The only machlek is Maasor Chenveni kishulchani, Maasor Chenveni kabalabais. Kuli alma, but everyone holds im hoitzi mal. But everyone holds that the question is only who's responsible. But if he used the money, he's stealing.
Who's more?
That's the question. But everyone agrees that the money itself is no longer kodesh, it's chulin. That's why the question is who's liable, right? Everyone's chayiv. So we see from here when it comes to mecha, when it comes to a sale, the money becomes. Our question was when it comes to a sale, you didn't realize it was hegesh money. Does the hegesh become chulin? It becomes chulin. Because otherwise, why? What meal is there? What are we talking about meal for? Says the Gemara. Ramei is addressing Rabbi Yehuda. Lididi, I hold im hoitzi. Now there's no meal to talk about. There's no meal to talk about because I hold b'shoigig by hegdish. It's not it's not a good sale, and therefore nothing happened, and it's not a meal. Elodidach, you hold that it's a good. It's a good, what do you call it? It's effective. Oidali mia, you hold that there's mila by money. At least be made the chenveni kabbalah bais. Amalei told him kishulchani. No, he has like a shulchani. Amar Rav will just finish here. Rav said, I looked everywhere. That even though Ramesh says clearly that by kodesh b'sheigig there's no hegesh, I looked everywhere for a source. I couldn't find anywhere that it says clearly that we're accepting now that made hold that b'sheigig by hegesh is not it's not a valid, it's not effective, because if you'd known you wouldn't have done it. And the mazes then it's your money and you could have used it. I haven't found anywhere he said so clearly. In our Mishnah he's does say so. By the case of the woman, he says b'sheigig. He says b'sheigig. It's not, she's not mekudesh, but it is. Mishnah saying is talking about kseinis kahuna shalei balu. Our Mishnah is talking about, what do you give her? You give her not money of hegdish. You gave her clothing of a kohen that did not rot, which means the kohen is still going to use it. And there's a special din that we took away the din of me'ilah from clothes of a kohen. Why? So the kohen allowed to wear it. If you're going to be so pedantic that the only time he can wear these clothes is when he's avoided, the moment he finishes the avoided, just take off his clothes. I mean, he's a human being. It takes time, and during that time he's not working the Beit Midrash. He's loyal. So we took away the me'ilah of the clothes, and that's what my mayor is talking about here. Like we took the clothes of a kohen, okay, and therefore the din is the what that b'sheigig is not Kiddushin, because nothing happened, and the maze it is. In other words, he wanted to use it for himself. So l'chayda, but this din that you assume here automatically made holds on all hagdish. No such thing. We'll stop here. I'm just